Morning, guys. I have been up since 2 a.m. this morning. So I rose up very bright, very early. I slept wonderfully, and I started working. I started cleaning my environment. I started getting shit done. I think now it's like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I'm gonna hit the grocery store. But I just wanted to take a second to talk about the worst dating advice that I have ever given. And I think it's the worst advice out there. And why it's so bad is because it works. And because it works, because you can have success, you're ending up getting hindered in life, like in general. Okay, so let me tell you what the advice is. Okay, so the advice is simple. Okay, it's go directly to the supplier. What does that mean? It means, a lot of guys tell you, for example, work out, make money, build a business, get a good career, work on yourself, build yourself up to an exceptional level, then meet girls. So you're not really going directly to the supplier. You're, working on yourself, building yourself up, and then attracting women further down the line when you're a better version of yourself. Now, the advice that I usually give is fuck all that shit. Let's go directly to the supplier. You see a hot chick, you go and talk to her. You don't need money. You don't need material things. You don't need your life in order completely. In fact, none of that shit matters. What matters is you walking up to the girl, you talking to her, and you working on learning the skill of being charming, of being funny, you having interesting things to say. You don't have to build a business or be a millionaire or wear an expensive watch to have interesting things to say. You can make up interesting things to say, right? You can talk about, like, you can tell a story. Two people can sit next to each other and tell the same story about how they sat down and they watched a movie. And one story is probably going to be awful because that guy, that person, is not a good storyteller. And then one story is going to end up being amazing because the other person, that guy, he's a great storyteller. And so, you don't need the biggest myth I ever discovered is you don't need to go and do a lot of interesting things to be an interesting person. You can just become an interesting person by thinking in interesting ways and having unique perspectives. By reading stuff, watching stuff, thinking for yourself. And obviously, you can go and try things, but you don't need to go on a luxury yacht to have an interesting story. You can have an interesting story about what you did with your friend yesterday in the park. You get what I'm saying? It's about how you tell the story. It's about how you position yourself. It's about the way you act, the way you talk. And the thing that's so bad about that is that it works. It works. Guys, literally, I picked up women with holes in my shoes. Like I'm unable to pay my bills. Like all this kind of shit. And I still found success. Still. Because I understood that you can just go directly to the supplier, okay? You can go directly to the girl. You can start talking to her and you can start to assert yourself like in reality, the masculine form and all this kind of stuff. You don't need to achieve a lot to be able to do that, which is good in one sense, but why it's bad advice, why it's terrible advice is I think the greatest thing a man can do, like DNA wise, is to get a chick, is to get laid. So what is our species here to do? We're here to reproduce, actually. We're here to survive and reproduce. And so when you're broke, you're unable to pay bills, you're lost in life, you have troubles and issues, and you decide, fuck everything. I'm just gonna go start talking to girls, and I'm gonna, make this happen for me. And then you go and you make it happen for you without getting in shape, without getting your money right, without getting all of the things in order that, you know, a man should have in his life. Guess what happens? You end up becoming a degenerate. You end up becoming someone that doesn't really accomplish that much, because you're spending time, you're spending energy, you're meeting girls, and you're succeeding. And what happens is you start to relax. You're like, hey, I'm doing well in life. You know, you smash a couple chicks. You're like, yeah, I'm doing well in life. I don't need to push hard in work. Hey, I don't need to get more money. Hey, I don't need to, you know, you start getting girlfriends. You're just laying in the couch. You know, they're sucking your dick. You're chilling. You feel like you're at the top of the world. You know what I mean? And so you don't have this biological drive to fucking be a superhero, you know, to be the best that you can be. And so I'm gonna stop giving that advice, because I've seen, I'm 31 years old now, I've seen how it has affected my life, where because I was so heavily involved with women and I became successful with women, I ended up having less drive and less motivation and less willpower when it came to actually making something of myself. I remember, you know, waking up tired in the morning, slightly hungover, been with some chick last night, and I could really feel that I wasn't that hungry to find new clients. I wasn't that hungry to conquer YouTube. I wasn't that hungry to go out and make something of myself, or increase my income, or hit the gym, or do this or do that. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that meeting women will make a big excuse, but I've seen it happen in my life, that when you meet women and they're sucking your dick and you're fucking and you got holes in your shoes and you're barely able to pay bills, and you know you're struggling, you know you could do better, but you kind of escape into meeting women, which I think I was doing. You just end up becoming a guy with women who's like a loser in all aspects of life, and that's you're gonna end up depressed, which is fucking funny to say. You got the chicks, but you're depressed. You know, it's funny to put it like that, okay? And so my advice moving forward, and it's advice for myself as well. I'm gonna take a little break from women and focus on YouTube, and focus on pushing content, and focus on my clients, and a lot of these things that I need to get in order, like my body, etc., etc. My advice is the same advice that I'm going to take myself, which is build yourself up, because it's harder to build yourself up than it is meeting women. To meet women, you need a little courage and you need free time. That's about it, okay? Maybe a little money to be able to pay a coffee or, you know, a drink at the bar, but that's it. That's it. But to find true purpose in life, to leave a legacy, to find motivation and inspiration, to work hard, to be somebody that is a role model to other people in your family, in your immediate environment, to find that career that you can stick to for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, to find, to hit, you know, the goal of making $10,000 a month, and then $15,000, and then $20,000, and then $30,000, and then $40,000, to become somebody that can say, hey, I'm a millionaire. Hey, I'm a multi-millionaire. That's like way harder, way harder, way harder, okay? And so maybe it's about time that we, not just you know, you, but me, collectively, we focus on doing what's harder, and then afterwards, once we've reached a good level in life, we can then focus on meeting women. As always, I will keep making content about meeting women and stuff, but I will talk more about the other aspects, because I know that usually that's where guys struggle. They struggle with money, they struggle with being in shape, they struggle with all this kind of stuff, okay? It's not that difficult to meet women. You know, you go out, you talk to a couple girls, you ask a couple girls out, one says yes, two says yes, three says yes, you end up having sex with one or two. Like, it's not that difficult, guys. And I know guys that they don't even work on themselves. They just drink every day and they just go meet women, and they're drunk like at least four days out of the week, and they just hang out with girls, and they can't even pay their own rent sometimes, and they end up living with girls. And that's not a cool or fun or interesting existence. It's an existence I've lived myself, and it's very, very depressing. It's much more interesting, in my opinion, to be a guy who's well dressed, in shape, fucking high self-esteem, confidence, relaxed, got a lot of money in the bank, a lot of money coming in, and then you meet girls. I think that's the best advice that is out there. Anyway, I gotta go to the supermarket now. I make these videos because I love you guys. If you like this video, like the goddamn video, comment down below, subscribe, and I see y'all, my brothers, in the next video. Peace.